And so that's why I learned to love and accept that part of myself. And I think I think it is a gift. It just depends on how it's used. It also could be a weapon that could hurt others, including myself. And that's something that I need to be wary of. That's something I need to look after myself. And that's my responsibility. But for me to open up and acknowledge those things, I have people I get to talk about these things with, people that can handle these things. Not everybody's going to understand. The other thing is, a lot of people don't even want to look at themselves. They're too scared to, or they look at it as evil and demonic and all those things, and they interpret it that way. So they keep pushing it away, but I guess what? It's going to keep popping up. And that's the reality of it. And I see that in religious groups. They look at ways where they're like, oh, that's evil, that's bad. And then, it's like, no, it's how what you do with it. It's how you interpret it. It's how you have all the power to change those things. And if you have a higher power, like for me, the creator, like to me, that's a creator given thing. And I have ancestors backing me up with it. My ancestors died for me to be here today. And I love that about them. I love that, how strong and resilient they were. And that's my thoughts. And my creator too looks out for me. That's what I choose to call my creator. And I feel really good about that today. And the thing is, you and I, we don't have to have the same God or creator or anything like that. Whatever works for you. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it. And I love that we have that. If we are all the same, then what would be the point? Like everybody is the same as me, man. Like that could be boring as hell here. Like I get bored of it, or I drive myself nuts and I'll be pissed off. Maybe, I don't know. But it's like no, we need variety, we need diversity, and it's important. And it's also a gift to be able to just be yourself and to grow that way. And that's an indigenous teaching I learned. That's a Stala Holmuk teaching I've learned, and is that we are good the way we are. It's just sometimes we have to shape ourselves. We have to let ourselves be who we are, and it's like we get to see what our gifts are, and our communities, we bring it out of each other. We accept each other. We love each other. And it's not perfect all the time, but like there's so much beauty in it that I think other people could look at and adopt. I honestly see the Western viewpoint as like it's a cookie cutter, put you in a box thing. And like I find with our homeless communities, they are accepting and loving as you are. And that's how I felt when I moved back here, back to my home, back to my community. And it's something that saved my life. And I think that needs to be appreciated too. And that's why I think that's a big piece of the reason why I learned to love all of myself is because of those teachings. And if you're one of the people that demonize things or, oh, that's the devil kind of thing, it's like, well, I'm talking about your own stuff. I'm not talking about what other people do. What other people do is none of my business. And so if you're gonna, like, I'd like to hear from maybe your struggles and your thoughts and stuff that you struggle with. Not being good enough is another one. And to me, that's like some inner child work, right? And like that vengeful thing, that's some shadow work, and that's some things that they're like protective factors. Like I had Don here on a few weeks ago, and he talks about those things quite openly, and I relate to him, and that's good. I think people are scared to accept and love their whole self. That's pretty much my bottom line. So that's why I think shadow work is important. Well, for me it is anyway, but I see it in others. I see it, but they're scared to do the work, and at one point I was too. So that's the truth. What did your anger teach you? So anger is something, it's like a double-edged sword. I think the benefits of anger is it gets me into a place where you start taking action. Like if I get pissed off or angry, one of the natural go-tos is working out for me. It's running, hiking. I was in rugby at one point and I train boxing from time to time. My note to self, I got to get back into it. It's been a while. But those are the things that kind of drives me into action. Now, I think the other side of anger is like if I hang on to it and I'm like, say, if I'm pissed off at everybody and everything, then I'm just going to be poisoning myself. And I think anger is just like any other emotion. It needs to come through me, but it also needs to be let go. And it was something I used to hang on to. Like I remember I'd be fucking angry and pissed off at somebody for years. And I'm not talking like, don't get me wrong, there's people I don't want in my life today. Like I could forgive them, but I don't want them at my table. I don't have to have them. And that's the thing, as I get that choice today. But if I hang on to the anger of them, then it's gonna harm me. And so like I could feel angry at times, but I have to make sure I find ways to let it go. And it's just changing the thoughts. And after I was able to change the thoughts and just maybe take some deep breaths is another one. Maybe go, like I said, go for a run. Those are the good things of anger. What did your fear teach you? And to tell you the truth, like I feel fear on a regular. Like I'm freaking talking on a camera. Like I'm getting better at it, but it's something that's not comfortable. It's not something natural to me. I think fear gives you the opportunity to show you how courageous you can be. And so that's what I really value. And there's some things I have fears about that I'm okay with having fears. Like me, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest. I don't want to jump out of a plane. I'm okay with that. I am totally fine with that. Like But like there's other ones where it's like, if I keep this fear, how is it going to affect me? Am I going to be on my deathbed and wishing that I could have done something, or wishing I would have experienced life? And for me, that was when I was in my bachelor life. Like that's what I did. I went out and I met people and I talked to people that, like, I was out of my comfort zone. I wasn't in my social bubble or anything like that. I had to go make friends on the spot and meet people, and it was a challenging thing. But it's like the reality of it is like, what's holding me back is fear. And usually it's this fear that's not going to hurt me. Like, other than I'm going to feel rejected or abandoned or hurt. And no, those things hurt, but I get to deal with them. I got to deal with them. I'm not in any physical danger. And so, I'm so glad I got to do that. And fear is a teacher of giving you the opportunity to be courageous by doing it anyway. And for me, I have to pray about it. Sometimes I have to be like, Creator, I can't do this on my own. Help me. Or if I think of ancestors, sometimes I think my grandma or my foster mom, and they're my ancestors today, and I believe that they're here with me when I think about them and pray with them. So those are things that I do to overcome fears. Who were you at 7 years old? Man, I was a imaginatory kid. I lived on a farm. It's kind of a secluded farm. That's where I was at 7 years old. I was living with my grandparents, and we had 2 houses and old barns and fields and everything. And I went out there and I had imaginary worlds. And man, that's the thing. Like I had a lot of time on my own. Other than school, like most of the time I was being outside playing on my own or with my sister. And I love that I had that imagination. I feel like it's something I kept. And it was like what I thought about, like that, like having fun and just being able to be excited about things in life. Like that's what I loved about it. That made me feel alive. That's 7 years old anyway. So tell me, I want to know, what were you like 7 years old? Like, what were things that you loved when you were 7 years old or made you feel alive? Just comment below. I love to hear it.